I'm never not amused by that catfight intro. Okay, in this case, it's a little literal. Ted Cruz and Donald Trump are in a fight over waterboarding. Now, Ted Cruz showed a very rare moment of humanity in the last Republican debate when he was like, well, waterboarding, I've said in the past that it's not the right thing to do. By the way, by U.S. law and international law, waterboarding is considered torture. It is a crime. We have punished that crime in the past when our soldiers got waterboarded. Now, the Cheney-Bush administration broke that law, but there was never any consequences, right-wing privilege. And so now we're having a debate as to whether we should follow that law or not. Now, Ted Cruz was actually on the right side of this. And then, of course, in the midst of a debate within the octagon, as the savages were calling for blood, he misstepped here by showing that little bit of humanity. So let me show you that first, and then I'll show you Trump's reaction today.
Well, under the definition of torture, no, it's not. Under the law, torture is excruciating pain that is equivalent to losing organs and systems. So under the definition of torture, it is not. It is enhanced interrogation. It is vigorous interrogation, but it does not meet the generally recognized definition of torture.
If elected president, would you bring it back?
I would not bring it back in any sort of widespread use. And indeed, I joined with Senator McCain in legislation that would prohibit line officers from employing it because I think bad things happen when enhanced interrogation is employed at lower levels.
So in the beginning, like every Republican, he lies about it and says it's not technically torture. It is, under every definition. But then he has said in the past that he wouldn't use it, so they say, will you bring it back? And he's stuck. The barbarians want him to bring it back. Bring back the torture! So he pauses for a second, and then they laugh at him like, this guy doesn't even want to torture people that much. Trump then later in the debate jumps in right afterwards and says, oh yeah, I'd bring back waterboarding, and then some. Okay, so now Trump, at a Monday night rally in Manchester, does far worse. Go ahead and watch.
You heard the other night at debate, they asked Ted Cruz, serious question, well, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. He said, well, he's concerned about the answer because some people, she just said a terrible thing. You know what she said? Shout it out because I don't want to. Okay, you're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. Terrible.
This guy's a showman, man. Total Rowdy Roddy Piper move there. You hit somebody over the head with a coconut, and then you walk up like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do, right? So after that, you know what happened? Of course, the crowd loved it. They ate that up. They start chanting right afterwards, Trump, 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 right? So you think that that's going to hurt him? Some people are playing it today like, oh, he might have really gone beyond the pale here. A person running for president is serious office. You're using a word like pussy. The guys who like him even more. Oh, finally a guy talking common sense. Pussy. Which kind of pussy wouldn't torture people? Hey, how about if our soldiers are tortured? How dare you? Yeah, I know. But once you put the knuckles down for a second, you realize we don't do torture so our guys won't get tortured. Oh, right. Plus, it's been proven over and over it doesn't work. So now Trump, being the showman that he is, he went on to say, ma'am, you're reprimanded, okay? You're reprimanded. For the press, this is a serious reprimand. Now, the reason he's saying that is because somebody called Obama Muslim in one of his rallies and he didn't correct him. So he's messing around with the press like, no, I'm not going to correct them. They want to think that Obama's Muslim? That's awesome. They want to think Ted Cruz is a pussy? Fantastic. He didn't have to repeat that line. She didn't say it loud enough, so he felt like, they didn't hear it. This is going to be so entertaining. I got to say it. You can't call him a pussy. Walk away. He's going to beat someone with a belt. It's going to happen. He watched wrestling just like we did. It's just around the corner. Or hit someone with a chair in the middle of a debate. Okay. Yes, it's not very presidential. Yes, it will definitely help him with Republican voters.